GM. So, GM, daily levels. Let's look at Saturday, the 10th of February. Chinese New Year. Happy Lunar New Year to those who celebrate. Year of the Dragon begins today. And we've got a pretty quiet weekend session, as you'd expect, I would imagine, probably. So, I said this last night, just this rough drawing before I went to sleep, just to see how it would move over the weekend. I would expect that basically yesterday we had a really bullish day, undeniably bullish, but it finished with a push up into resistance and then a close back below and back down towards the kind of 47 level. Given that that's what we did during the week and that was what the market was able to push and how far it was able to go, I wouldn't be surprised to see some consolidation here, some chop, some grind, and initially at least a pullback because most people just straight up missed the move, right? Most people faded all this, they missed all that, and they just watched as it went higher and higher and higher. Then as it got into resistance, the FOMO took over and became too much. And I was seeing shit on Twitter like suddenly everyone was bullish. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Everyone seems to be bullish on Twitter, but you were all bear posting at the bottom. My Twitter feed 2 weeks before over here was just all bear posting, bear posting, bear posting, bear posting. Yet suddenly they're all fully allocated for this. So obviously what it means is most are lying and many they are long, but it means they've got long late. And so they're probably going to get wrecked. So, if the momentum from the Friday session didn't take us above 50K or above at least a breakout, then just be mindful, even though it's bullish, just be mindful that this is still 39 to 49 range and this is resistance. So that's what I'm looking at. And I'll leave that drawing on actually. And what we've done though really nicely is reclaim the daily trend. So we lost the daily trend briefly on the red bands, went down as low as the 100 EMA, reclaimed, and what I like was we reclaimed and consolidated above it for 8 or 9 days. That's a pretty solid base. Breaking away from it, I would expect any pullback here to be a dip. Any dip here to be just based off flushing out leverage or people who are late. And we'll see from there. It should be shallow too, right? I wouldn't want to see us go that much below 46. I would expect a short, sharp dip down, a little bit like what I'd drawn. Just flush people out on the weekend, and then away we go. Get into Monday. If that happens, great. If not, maybe we're in for more, not pain, but a bit more chop. So I want to compare total 3 to BTC. There you go. Reliable as ever. The divergence. So BTC had its run up yesterday. Total 3 was grinding up too. Then Bitcoin topped here. Total 3 went to new highs. And this is the top. And we pulled back. Completely as expected, or I shouldn't say as expected, completely normal, completely unsurprising, very common. People just started to chase into alts when this is supposed to be a Bitcoin move and the Bitcoin show. So that's fine. It doesn't mean that the fucking top's in and we go to zero, but it's one sign that people have gone too heavy into alts on a weekend. You saw a little dip down of Bitcoin dominance there, right? As people foolishly tried to exit Bitcoin. But look at BTC dominance on the weekly chart, just super strong and seems like gearing up for another big run. And individual alts, nothing crazy. Some up, some down, some sideways. AKT going back below $3, unfortunately. More consolidation needed. Just scrolling down through IMX, seems to be running. Yeah, there we go. That was a good chart we talked about the other day. I think I did on alt request stream or one of the streams or one of these videos. Built up a nice base, breaking out. So select few strong alts will do well. And most of the rest will probably pull back a bit. So overall, not bad. Now, keep an eye on this. Mostly Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana is usually your easiest way to view it. Because if you keep an eye on Bitcoin, and then ETH, and then Sol, the combination of those three will tell you, are people staying focused on Bitcoin, or are they kind of swaying and drifting off, straying from God and going into the deep, dark recesses of shitcoin land. So, what else do we have there? We've got, yeah, the rest of the alts don't super concern me. And here is the data. So I set it up from not from the daily close, but from the New York close. So 9 p.m. UTC. And you can see here, this is altcoins. So altcoins on the bottom, open interest and funding, Bitcoin on top. And from the New York close until the top of that rally, there was 325 million of OI added. So basically, people chasing long into the weekend, they've already been flushed out. Good to see. So I think we do go a little lower, but we then find a base, find a floor, and push back up again. What was concerning there was a couple of things I talked about on yesterday's live stream at the start of the Casual Friday stream. Bitcoin open interest was flat. Bitcoin funding is pretty much flat. It's hovering around between, below neutral. But altcoin open interest went up, so that's a divergence. And then altcoin funding was up, well above neutral, 0.015 instead of 0.01, which is fine, but you don't really want to see it. Right, here's the neutral rate there. You want to see the altcoin funding get consistently back below that, because that's where Bitcoin's is. But if that keeps happening and people keep trying to chase alts and they keep getting wrecked, good. As long as Bitcoin continues to hold its structure and Bitcoin continues to show signs of accumulation, which it is, then they're just going to get left behind. They're going to do the same thing again. They're going to pile into alts when it's a Bitcoin rally and a Bitcoin move. So from that perspective, nothing overly concerning to me here, but you'll have to keep watching it. Watch it throughout the weekend. And as of right now, the path I would expect is the path I've drawn. Something like that. Just where we just bleed. It bounces, it takes the lows, bounce, takes the lows. Because what happens here now is people just try to long every dip, right? They miss the whole rally. So they get long here and then they get stopped out. And then they try to get long again and they get stopped out and it'll go up again and then it'll stop them out. And whether it's maybe another push, maybe one more push, maybe three pushes, maybe a bigger spike. If you see a big spike with people getting wrecked, who knows? Who knows? But we'll see. So that's pretty much it. Quick overview of the market this morning, GM. And I'll see you all later. We'll do live stream, 5 p.m. UTC, the regular time. GM, GM, GM.